I'd like to illustrate an application to enable the ordering of printed point-of-sale advertising for chains of large retail stores. This is typically the sort of spreadsheet that they might use to order their POS, printed point-of-sale advertising. It has the columns, details of individual POS items, artwork, technical details for the printer, and scrolling down the number of items to be ordered, and that's referenced against the rows which contain the individual store name and number. Now, the issue being is in this particular retail chain of 2,800 stores, a typical sort of campaign might include 50 POS items, and that generates a spreadsheet that has, in this instance, over 140,000 cells. So that's really the issue for the staff managing the POS. Filling out the spreadsheet is a very large, onerous task. So there is a quicker way, an easy way to do it. However, even if there were only 100 stores in the retail chain and 100 POS, you're still looking at 10,000 cells. So there really needs to be an easy way to do that, and this application does that. So let's have a look at that now. This application holds a database of the various components required, entities required, details of the campaign, details of the store, details of the fixtures, and details of the POS. So let's have a look at how that comes into play. So this is the application here, the main menu of the application. As we saw in the database, we can go into a particular store. This screen here enables us to select stores. We could select some stores, head criteria, name. We could search. And we can select the store that we want to look at here. This is a little database all on its own, really. Details of the store itself, and I won't go into that now. There'll be another video for that. So we have similar screens where we can select fixtures. These are the fixtures here. Or we could select similar way POS items as well. So let's have a look at this. Have a look at one of them here, for instance, say the beers, wines and spirits goalpost, and if we click on that we see the additional information held in the database. There's also a custom fields where people can create their own fields for this POS item, and that's one of the features of this application, is that new data can be added to the existing data in here, and specifically details regarding the campaign. So we'll have a look at how that's uploaded just now. This is the selection of campaigns, existing campaigns. We could create a new one. We'll have a look at this existing one here. Here we see general sort of header type information for the campaign, key dates in which the campaign is being executed, and we can also do a little Gantt chart of that too. So this is the part here on which custom data can be added into the campaign. You could, for instance, upload from Excel a spreadsheet of data relating to a particular campaign, and we'll see that comes into the selection process later on. So let's go into this one particular campaign here, and we'll just scroll through. This is a preliminary selection of stores, but that's not required at this stage. Well, this is a selection of the POS items in the campaign. So we'll add another POS item into the campaign. And once again, we pop back to the selection screen that we saw earlier. We're going to add in the goalpost. So that's been added in now. You can of course sort and select this selection here. So here's the item we added here, the beers, wines and spirits goalpost. This is the part here where we select that item, and now we're going to allocate that to the store's details of the POS. This is the main part of the application. Enables us to allocate that POS item to a particular store, or actually selecting on many other criteria as well. At the moment we're looking at the store table. We can select store properties, for instance, like the demographic. We could select the demographic, particular demographic of A, and we can carry on selecting on that store. We could select on footfall and choose the between. So this selection process has many options, and there's also a selection ability of excluding as well. So we could exclude stores of this with this property or range of footfall if we wanted to. So we'll just carry on here. So now we're into this screen here called Campaign Pacific, and this was what I was showing earlier of data that had been loaded via a spreadsheet. So we'll just select some of that data here. In this instance, we're selecting stores that have a beers, wines and spirits department, and we'll carry on selecting other areas here. Store area, department, beers, wines and spirits, and we'll carry on selecting here. So let's have a look at what we're actually doing in terms of the database table here. We're actually spanning across the database diagram here. We initially started on stores, store areas, now we're looking at fixtures, and one of the clever things of the process we're doing here is that as we're selecting on one table, we're reducing the selections possible on the following table based on what had been selected previously. So that reduces the number of options and makes the selection process easier. Let's go back to our application. So that might be enough selecting. There is more selections you can do. Fixture parts, POS, that should be enough. And we see that our selection criteria has returned 610 stores, and we'll put 3 POS items per store, and we'll pop back to here and generate the spreadsheet now. This process would only be done once a week or twice a week, and it's generating, as I say, 140,000 cells, so it's taken a while. Here we go, it's popped up. And if we scroll along to the end here, we'll see the new POS item we added, which was the beers, wines and spirits goalpost, and we can scroll down here and see that these are the quantity that's been added, and if we scroll to the left here, we'll be able to reference the particular store in which that item was added. Thank you for looking at this demonstration. There is actually quite a lot more to this application, but perhaps that's better in another video. Thank you.